Hey everybody, wanted to follow up on my video from last week. I want to talk a little bit about the first real estate property that I ever bought. This was clear back in 2003. I was 22 years old. A friend of mine, Clint Calley, had been working at a company that sold training videos for Carlton Sheets. It was a no money down program with Robert Allen and Robert Kiyosaki, and he got me some DVDs and CDs to listen to, and that's what kind of sparked my interest originally in investing in real estate. I think it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and so I knew I wanted to buy a place. I was moving down to Provo, and I wanted to buy a real estate property. Didn't know anything about it. All I knew is that that's what the book had recommended you do, different things like that. And so what I did is I ended up going around and I found a property. It was a condo in a place called Windsor Park. It's right there on Provo Boulevard, there next to Bulldog Boulevard. And I bought the property and lived there for 3 years. Ended up selling the property 3 years later. And I want to kind of walk through a little bit of kind of what I paid for the property, how I did the down payment, how it looks then versus how it looks now if you were to buy this same property, and why it makes so much sense for people. Anybody going to school right now, anybody that's looking to start to go to school, anybody whose kids are going to be going to school. This is kind of the breakdown of the numbers that ended up working out really well for me as an investment, and so I want to share that with you guys. So in 2003, Windsor Park, I bought that condo for $158,000. My down payment was 3.5%. That was $5,530. I saved up for my time selling steak and chicken door to door and had $5,530 to put down on the property. My rate at that time was 6.75% on the loan. I remember my mom had to co-sign for me because I didn't qualify on my own, but thankfully I had a mom that trusted that I'd make my payments, which I always did. Anyway, so my monthly payment came to $1,093 a month. That's what my payment was while I lived at this condo at Windsor Park. In the 3.5 years or 3 years I lived there, I think I probably paid down the principal about $7,000. I sold it for $172, ended up netting about $169, $170 by the time all of my fees and everything, title fees and stuff like that. And so I ended up making, I think at the end of the day, I made like 13 grand on the investment from what I had originally put down or whatever else. In the time I lived there, I also was able to depreciate it against my taxes, saving me a couple $1,000s a month. But regardless, I basically lived for free at college for 3 years as my 3 roommates, each paying $350 a month, paid pretty much my entire monthly payment on the condo. I did have an HOA fee, so I guess you could say I paid about $150 a month to go to school and live in my condo. So fast forward, that was 2003. I want you to fast forward to today. I just looked this morning. There's this same unit that I owned at Windsor Park, currently under contract at $175,000. And the reason why this is significant is I want you guys to see the difference between rates between 2003, when it was 6.75%, and today, 2016, where you could get the same property to 3.5%. The cost right now, they're going for $175,000, so $18,000 more, or excuse me, $17,000 more than they went for in 2003. With the same down payment, 3.5%, which comes to $6,200 now, so a little bit more money on that 3.5% rate. The monthly payment right now would be $932 a month. So that's how significant these rate differences are. You can see a condo, even though it's gone up $17,000 from where it was, your payment's actually $150 less, $160 less per month now than it would have been buying it back when I did in 2003 as a 22-year-old. And so kind of puts in perspective why now is such a great time to invest in real estate. So anybody that's considering renting, or they're considering maybe buying an investment property, maybe their kids are going to school or whatever else, there's so many properties out there right now that you can get in this price range or even a little bit more and keep that monthly payment where it is. A couple other things, if you were to do this same property now, $175,000, but put 20% down, so that'd be $35,000, okay? Then your monthly payment would actually be $670 a month as opposed to $932. You get rid of mortgage insurance, and the payment goes down that significantly. So if you were to put $35,000 down, so another $29,000 down, your payment goes down to $670 a month. At that point, you've got yourself a great investment property. Anyway, that's just a quick example of a property, what you can do now, why it's a great time to invest in real estate. If you're going to be living somewhere anyways, rather than paying rent, might as well own the place. By the way, side note, while I owned the place, I was able to tear out a tree and put in a hot tub, which is every kid's college dream, and right in our own little backyard. I was able to do whatever I wanted with the property. I once filled the entire condo full of sand and did a beach party. You can't do that if you're renting. So anyway, a couple of the perks of owning versus renting. Thanks for listening. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between different distressed properties and foreclosures. I get talked to all the time. People want to buy gone as fast as it has. A couple people have asked me recently, like, hey, why is the market as hot as it is?